How to buy land at the lowest prices in Abuja before it appreciates, and why late buyers lose the most in Abuja real estate market. That is what we're going to be talking about today, and you're definitely going to get a whole lot of it. Is it really possible to get land at the lowest prices? Oh, yes,
Of course.
it is. It is really, really possible. And today we'll just tell you how to do it. It's surrounded around one basic idea and principle, which is early entry.
That's all.
That's just the principle behind getting not just land, literally anything in life to get it really affordable. Start early.
Yeah.
Early entry is one thing that lies behind all of this. And land, of course, does not stay away from that principle. So when you enter early, in buying real estate, in buying land, you're actually getting it at the lowest price possible at the time you meet it.
Actually.
It's never going to go below that time.
That price.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You meet it at any time you meet it. That is the cheapest or most affordable that it can be. So you have to enter early before demand builds, before everybody gets to know about it. They start asking questions. By the time a lot of people are talking about it, it has come beyond early. It's now popularity means it's no longer early. So it has to be at a stage when the crowd is not yet aware of it. By crowd, it means a whole lot of people. Just few people are still talking about it. And at that time, too, the prices are still, payment plans are still very, very possible. And the percentages of payment plan are still very, very flexible. Because most times, as it becomes more popular, if at some point you could do 30%, you now hear we no longer do 30% down payment, you can now do 50 only, things like that. The flexibility of the payment plan gets more rigid as time goes
Definitely.
by. Right. And then also, when you enter early, it's a means of the developers saying thank you for trusting us at this early stage. So they do pre-sales, sort of incentivizing you, the buyer or investor, so that you can come in at that point and gain and be rewarded for trusting them at such time. The thing is, if you want to get real estate and mostly things in life, just early entry, get into it early. This is usually the lowest point the property will ever be. The earlier, the lower. That is one of the ways to get in really early. And then at this point, Mr. Jeff, you know, a story came to mind. I can't forget the pain in his eye when he was talking about this. I really cannot, because someone says something better to experience the pain of sacrifice and discipline than the pain of regret. That day I saw the pain of regret in his eyes. We were taking for an inspection somewhere, and he said when Wuye, he was using Wuye for an example, that when Wuye was actually taking off, that he knew, and he was making a lot of money then.
Wow.
He was not even married then. He said he had, flexing, doing all those things, and he felt, Wuye, what is happening here? And how much should I put there? He said he was working around beggar, and he was seeing a lot of money. Fast forward to just last year when we were taking for an inspection, I could literally, he wears my kind of glasses, but I could see through his eyes and see the pain of regret. I was like, now, boy, do you know right now I cannot pay for Wuye with a lump sum. I must use payment plan. And this is what he could afford years back. He said it was just like 5 million, 10 million, he would get a good plot, 500 square meters and all. But then that point for him was early. If he could have gotten at that time, the pain of regret I saw in his eye that day, I'm sure he would not have been. So that is the thing. If you don't want to experience regret in real estate, always keep your ears for when it's early and when it does not look like it.
Absolutely. I get this a lot. People ask this type of questions that when is the best time to invest in real estate? And the best time always doesn't really look like it. And like you said, first pricing. You get the cheapest pricing when you come in early. The next thing you get, which I think a lot of people are yet to really understand, is plot selection or positioning. For instance, recently, there's a property around in Wuye, around the market, Wuye market, that they are doing perimeter right now. Whenever I pass there, I can't help but wonder. Of course, I know that place is some billions. Those kind of billions to carry away. Billions, So I can't help but imagine the first, and it's quite a sweet plot. It's a corner piece quite big in the midst of so many amazing stuff. And of course, I got a wind of when they wanted to sell it and how much they wanted to sell it at the time, you know. I just can't help but wonder the guy that came in on, like the best person that bought that place. Just think about it. And you know, most of the people that bought within that area bought even before that bridge, that Uyewuse bridge was commissioned. So they used to go around through
Bega, connect through Utakoda.
Bega, exactly. And then there used to be a lot of traffic in Bega because every other person had to go and pass through that area. So the value of this place at the time, didn't feel like it, you know. But a lot of them came in early, and then once they just opened the bridge, bam, everything just went up. The most important thing is that the coming in early, you get some of the best plots. You're not now left with gullies and valleys and back plots. You know, you just get to choose any other one. Or even if you're buying apartments, you know, coming in early, you can get the front, or you can decide to choose. You can decide that, okay, let me try this first one. Oh, okay, no. After like a few days, nothing. No, I don't want this one again.
Yes, exactly.
You know, you can change. You can adjust all of that when you come in early. And these are the positions. These are the benefits of coming in at early stages. At early stage, you have access to prime positions. You have access to strategic plots. You know, you have access to better layout advantage. And I've seen this too recently in our current project, in our latest project. And the first few people that, you know, indicated interest, they literally changed their minds, like almost 3 times.
Now imagine they came in late and there was no choice.
There was no choice. They just are left with any other one that is there. You know, and these, amongst many other things, are part of the advantages of, you know, buying early. We are simply talking about how to buy land at the lowest prices, or how people that buy late lose money.
Exactly.
So losing the right position is also equivalent to losing good money, because when you get the right positions, I mean, not all positions are equal in an estate. Maybe initially they may sell all of them the same, but over time, they can never all be the same. And this is another reason why coming in early is very important and beneficial, profitable for you as well.
You know, there's something you said that struck really hard. Buying early is saving a lot of money and making good money. It's something most people do not know. And another thing that early entry helps you do is, and most people underestimate this, you know, early entry gives you one thing amongst many other things, and that is time.
Yeah.
Of course, you know what it said, that time is one of life's greatest assets that can be used for life. Time can turn to anything. And what time does when it gives you time for infrastructure to come. Take, for instance, our latest project right now, it's still starting off. You're getting it at the price at which it is. And then as infrastructure comes, that little amount with which you came in gives you enough time, and it accrues, it grows over time. So it gives development to grow. So I can imagine lots of projects are coming to our mind now that we've been graced to handle here in Abuja. And I'm imagining those who came in when it was quite early, that looked like nothing will happen. And right now, a lot is happening. I'm sure when they look at the money they paid and the development that's happening now, they'll go for Thanksgiving service. Honestly, like, they will. They will. And time also gives the time for demand to rise, because when you come in very early, infrastructure is not yet there. And even the cost of infrastructure, when it begins to happen, you look at the amount you pay, you know it can't afford that infrastructure, right? And then when demand begins to increase over time, of course, value begins to go up and up and up. And each of these points remind me of very strong stories. When we say these things, they actually
they happen all the time.
So it was the same access, you know, from Meitama Sokoro flows down to Apo, going to where this property is right now. And just Meitama too, I was hearing the story of someone. She was sharing how at the time when she was buying plots there, Meitama extension, they call it, right? That area. That
Kabusu.
Kabusu, yes.
Kabusu area.
That she got plots there it was 4 million early entry again. It was 4 million. And at that time, people be saying, why are you buying somewhere that is close? Are you going to Nasarawa? Do you want to be in Abuja or do you want to be in Nasarawa? Why not come down and buy Abuja? Except they call those who have land in Abuja, you will come out. Give them time. Now, the same plot she was able to buy at 4 million. Right now, if you go there with 50 million and say, I'm a beg, nobody will listen.
Yeah.
Why is that? Infrastructure has gone there. Development has come. It is now popular. Demand has risen. And that is how you actually build value and build good returns in real estate. It's not by really rushing when it's late. It's by positioning early and holding.
Yes. And the reality is that the truth is some people still decide not to buy on time, and that's fine. But it's good we also make you understand what you stand to lose. First of all, you lose a lot of money. Whether you think you are losing or not, you are actually, because eventually most people, think about it. A doctor works really, really hard his whole life. In fact, first of all, he goes to school, work hard, eventually to buy real estate. Because at the end of the day, everybody wants a comfortable life.
Yes.
And one of the things, basic necessity of life is shelter. And usually after all the hard work and everything, we would like to live in our own home, right? Or at least invest in property, because we all know that property is good. Aside from the fact that it is a symbol, like a gift to yourself, that okay, I've worked hard and this is it. Besides, as a good person, you want to leave it as an inheritance for your children, but people usually still wait. And understandably so, because there are so many things. Some of them feel like, no, the last one I bought, I paid into, and they did not now follow through on what they say they would do. Or I bought one and and I don't even know where it is again. All those type of stories. And that's majorly why. But still doesn't excuse the fact that you're going to lose money. If you don't come in early. So what I usually suggest is do your due diligence. Don't buy blindly. Don't buy out of emotions. Don't buy because your brother recommended it. That it could start there, but don't buy because of that. Right? Do your due diligence. Involve a professional lawyer, a property lawyer, involve a registered surveyor, and of course, call us. Involve professional real estate consultants as well, that will guide you. But once the boxes are ticked and checked, once everything checks out, don't wait. Just move in. Else, every time you wait, you lose money. So in a nutshell, the simple breakdown is early buyers enjoy, low entry. You buy at the cheapest price possible. You choose better. You buy the best locations within. If it's an estate, you buy the best locations in the estate. In fact, you get to choose. If it's apartment, you buy the best, units in the apartment, and then ultimately you gain more. You gain more, right? Late buyers, on the other hand, people that like to overanalyze, people that like to think. I got a call this one for this same kind of thing, and the lady said that she has seen this a while ago. But you know how, where is the property now people are talking about? It wasn't looking like it 1 year later, once the approval came out, and then the CO was gotten, boom, and then she's like, like, how she almost vexed for me. Jeff, why now? Why is it expensive now? Wasn't it just, you get? Wasn't it just? And I asked her, when did you see it? And I said, sometime mid last year now. It was just, why is it now? And people are even saying 40% on top again, and all of that. You see? And at the end of the day, that's how real estate works. It's not our fault, right? So when you buy late, usually you buy higher. That's what it is. People that came in on time, just like you help them make profit. That's what it is, right? You choose what is left. I don't want to say leftover. You choose what is left, right? You know, and then you gain less. I mean, it's still okay. You still gain. It's real estate. Your value, the market will still appreciate. However, what if you just came early? You know. So these are the things we're trying to help you get or know today. Right.
Now you've been equipped with this, there's an opportunity for you to apply this towards the Apple Wasa axis. We have a great opportunity for people who have missed out in early projects and want to get an opportunity to do things right this time. It's Crystal Estate located towards Apple Wasa, and it is currently in its early stage right now. Actually, the pre-sale season, which is about to close, just by the 1st of April, it ends. So for you, if you're someone who has been saying, if I see the next opportunity to do things right and get in early, this is for you.
That is
jumping right now. The prices are really, really at its lowest right now. And you have the chance, like you said, to choose where you want to choose, because right now, when you choose, if you change your mind, you meet your wife, honey, I think we should move here. It can happen
right now.
It can happen right now.
Yes.
Right. So I have plots starting from 150 all the way up to 750, and the entry for a 150 square meter plot is just 5.3 million naira. That is what it is, right? It is at the lowest it is ever going to be. And amazingly as well, it has an FCDA RFO, really good service estate, and it's amazing. You want to know more about it, that is why we're here. That's why our phone number is in the description as well. All you have to do is just call us and we will get you in on the best parts and all that you need to know about it. Signs that this place is definitely going to go are already there. Everything you've been following, what we have been telling you, know it's already clear. From infrastructure, development, attention, the flow of it's all there.
Exactly.
It's all there.
Exactly. And so again, people that come in early, they benefit the most. You make the most money, you choose the most, locations, especially if you are looking to build wealth through real estate.
Exactly.
I mean, if you're just doing random stuff, then this is not for you. But if you're very specific about what you're trying to achieve, leveraging real estate, and I don't think you would watch our videos and you're still random. No, you should not sit on the fence any longer. You should know exactly what you're doing. There are majorly two reasons people buy real estate. Okay, let me add the third one. The first is capital gain. I mean, you want to buy, flip for a profit.
Yes.
That is number one. Number two is cash flow. So you want to buy for rental purpose, either a short rent or long-term rent, whichever. Your goal is stability. You want cash flow, no matter how small, but let it be coming steadily. That's the second reason why people buy. The third is ownership. You just want to buy and live inside. You just don't want to rent again. You want to, one of the things I've seen, intentional parents do is, and I've been thinking about this lately, is that they buy a property for the sake of memory. They want many years. I have a client that came while in Enugu sometime last 2 years. He came back from the US with his son. His son is about 13 years and he has never been to Nigeria. So he brought back the son and then he asked me to show him a few of the places he bought. And then at the end of our inspection, he now told me that please, I should drive them to somewhere in GRA. So I took them to GRA and then he said, he was just directing me, turn left, turn right. Okay, stop here, Jeff. He now came out with his son and showed him that this is where he grew up. He told his son that this is actually where he grew up. This is on this road they used to play football. He was even telling his son how that at a point this road was quite untarred. Across was a white family, etc. And while I was there, I was just imagining if this guy could afford to buy this house, I think he would just buy it and preserve the memory.
The memory.
Do you get? So that the son too will now show his son too and say, oh, this is where my father grew up. And you know how you see some of these movies, and of course, I think some people have actually experienced it. when they come back to the house where they grew up and everything is still there.
Yeah.
Like your room still has the small pictures, you know, your plate, usually teddies. I don't know why they used to keep their
teddy bears.
teddy bears. You know, for the sake of preserving memory. And I've been thinking about, I mean, as a parent, I've been thinking about this lately. Like sometimes you just buy a property for the sake of preserving memory. So that, you know, most times when you move from one place to another, you lose some of your stuff. That one is guaranteed.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Plus, like I remember my son when he was born, we used to mark his height on his wardrobe.
Oh,
Do you understand? Imagine he had grown to like 40 and come back to the house and see the markings. You know, imagine the nostalgic feeling. I mean, some things are priceless. Some things are, it's not just always about money. You know, some things are priceless. So these are some of the reasons people buy real estate, right? And at this stage, you want to just make up your mind, and whichever property you have been seeing lately, and you've been really, and you've not made up your mind to buy now yet, I think you should make, once you've done your due diligence and the boxes are ticked, please go ahead and buy. I mean, immediately. If you're looking to invest in Crystal, like he has just said, then you want to call us today. Don't wait again till tomorrow or next. You're going to lose a lot of money for every time you wait. You lose the opportunity to get in on a good, you know, position. You lose the opportunity to buy at the very, very, you know, affordable rate. So go ahead today and call or WhatsApp the numbers showing on your screen or in the description, and let us lock you in on this. Remember, either for capital gain, for cash flow, or you're looking to preserve memories, we are available for you. Do enjoy
a great
fantastic day, and bye for now.
Bye for now.